Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall, we built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big
bong. Welcome to the Big Bong Theory. It's a new podcast. It's a new podcast where we get high and talk about science. Sorry. Well, damn. It's a little bit of an ambient track going on here for like the background. It's nice for the intro.
What? So this is basically Science Friday, but rebranded.
Yeah, and I didn't prepare at all.
I like that more.
You do? I think it was good when I had stuff ready.
Yeah. I think it's good when you don't, too.
So, let's turn that off. The Big Bong Theory. I just thought of that name earlier, and I thought that's a good podcast idea. Well, it's a good name for a podcast, and a good... I mean, I'm sure there are podcasts already that just get high and talk about science, so...
It was such a good name that no time could be spared. It's like you just had to jump into that podcast not really knowing much about it, but you got to start. You got to get it out there.
The stories... I'm looking at a Feedly today from just... This is my app called Feedly. I don't know if people still use that. It's like an RSS thing.
I don't think so.
I don't think people use it anymore. So, the biggest story I'm seeing today in science, and I'm seeing a couple, not that many stories, honestly, is the gas stove.
The gas stove.
Do you know? Should we fill in the listener if they don't know?
I think a lot of people don't know. So, yeah, you can go ahead and fill. You filled me in before, like maybe earlier, a week or two ago.
So, I guess some new studies came out and they found out that gas stoves leak all kinds of chemicals at rest, when you're not using it, when you are using it. It's like a bunch of different things that basically what they said that it's almost the equivalent of living with the smoker if you have a gas stove in your home, which is like a big bummer for, anybody who thought they were like just living in a nice clean house.
And I think anybody who's had a gas stove prefers it, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I do. I don't know anybody who's like, no, I actually like the fucking hot coil.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people like grew up with that, and that's what they're used to, and they know how to like kind of control the heat in that way.
Coil?
Yeah.
The coil, I think, is the worst.
Yeah. I was recently talking about it because I was staying at an Airbnb, had an awesome birthday weekend with my girl, and we had the gas stove, and I was like, she didn't know how to use it. She was like, we're trying to make rice, and she's like, I don't know like what level to put it on. She's like, I want it to be like medium low, and she had it now, and I adjusted it because I was like, I have more experience with this, and I ended up making the rice perfectly.
Well, I mean, that's good, but like,
I'm just saying that like some people don't know how to use it, and I was just saying,
that is crazy.
And she was like, it's probably nice to have a gas stove, but I was saying like, yeah, it's so much better. I feel like I can control what I cook a lot easier, but maybe that's just because I'm used to it. But at the same time, fire is fire, you know what I mean? And then an electric stove, they're all different.
You can tell how large your fucking flame is on any stove, whereas like an electric, it's like it's a glow to it sometimes, or often. Yeah, it's a glow to it.
And then sometimes they end up, only cooking at like high, like they're just broken.
I burned so many things on like the electric stove. I think, I guess there's like 4 categories. There's gas, which we love. That's, I guess, going extinct. There's the coil, and then there's the hot plate where there's just like a disc that gets really hot. And then the one that everybody's loving these days is the induction. I think everything's probably going to become induction because it's just really, it's safe. It's like, you know what I'm talking about, where it like heats up the pan like through magnetism or something. Like the stove itself, you have it on high, you put your hand down on it, it's not hot, but you buy certain pans that like resonate with these
magnets.
I think it's how it works. And so then the pan itself is getting hot. It's kind of weird, but I think that's where everybody's going to go on. I've never used one personally, so I can't really say anything about it, but
yeah, I mean,
I do think it's a sad day. I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to be one of those people that puts my foot down and I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm living with the gas stove.
Well,
I guess I'll make it work with what we got, or else.
Is it the fact that we're not, we're breathing in that, like that burn of the gas, and like, is there a way that we can have like a fan that sucks up the shit that is bad, or is it in the food?
No, it's not in the food. It's in the air. But that's what I was thinking is like, is there a way to keep the idea of a live flame alive with just redesigning what gases we use?
Is it like outside it's safe because, you know, we're outside and it can dissipate into the air and we're not necessarily breathing it in?
I think grills are still probably okay.
So that's where
I guess grills can get maybe a little more popular. I mean, everybody's going to have to be like, well, I want to flame cook this shit, so we're taking it to the gas puppy outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think people do that.
I mean, there's certain situations where you need the flame.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll just use grills for that crap.
Yeah, because does that mean, like, when you're making like, a meal or whatever on, like, a backpack stove, is that bad?
I don't think so. There's ventilation. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I read one article, so I'm an expert now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even read.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been living in a van to come clean, and I have an electric. I have a gas stove in the van. It's butane, I think.
Probably.
I can't remember
propane?
the type of fuel. It's not propane. It's in like, it looks like a large hairspray bottle.
Well, what is inside of camper stoves? Are those butane?
Those are like something different.
Huh. I would think it'd be the same thing.
It's different stuff. I was surprised too. Do you want to go look?
I guess.
All right, it would just be kind of cool to go like on the move for the podcast.
Yeah, actually, it was really thirsty.
You're gonna go.
Okay. Ziggy, come on.
So we're in the backyard now. I was just gonna go around.
I gotta get water.
I'm gonna go so we'll be solo for a little bit. We're going around the side of the house just to maybe paint a picture of where I am. We're in southern Florida, ornamental palm trees, suburban neighborhood. It's about, I'd say, 80 degrees. It's actually incredible weather right now. So that's pretty awesome. Walking out to the van, cracking her open. We're gonna go see. I gotta see exactly what this my fuel is, because like I feel like in here, I don't know if I'm gonna repeat this once Zach gets here, but this is just between me and the audience. I guess it's butane. So I have this like little stove, and it's got butane fuel, and I love this thing. It's
What we got?
It was weird being alone on the podcast, I gotta say. I was waiting for something.
I know, I had to look around for my water.
It's like playing tennis alone.
Yeah.
It's like what I need. I'm
That's
not
just
used.
vlogger mode, isn't it?
I guess it is vlogger mode.
So what kind of?
So yeah, it's actually, you can see it's a butane, and like I said,
But it's good butane apparently.
the brand is called Good Butane. And this thing rules. Like I love, like we said earlier, it's an open flame.
I've never seen it in action, but it seems.
You want to
pretty...
watch it?
I mean, it seems like it. Does it fill up that tray with?
Like this is actually gonna be. This will be good. Like, it's got some great sounds. It's like all aluminum, I think. And so the butane right now is in this little mechanism on the side, and when you pull down this lever, it loads it into the slot, connects it to a little pipe, and now the gas is armed. But we're on off. So, like, look, check it out.
Yep.
Ignition. As easy as that.
Yeah, you can
Off.
barely see the flame.
Yeah, out here.
I mean
it's like a blue
That's a
flame.
nice big flame, though.
Yeah, it's an incredible grill. It's gas one, got it from Jeff Bezos. And then when you squeeze it, when you twist the knob to off and then go all the way to auto ejection, boom.
Oh, baby.
That ejects the butane canister so that it shouldn't be leaking anywhere.
Now, do you keep the canister in the... Do you feel like it's safe in there, or do you feel like you should separate the two, like the flame?
I think the auto eject that's the whole point of it. It's a safety mechanism. It's like,
Right.
if it stayed connected, that would be bad. It's almost as if you, like, every time you use your oven at home, you, like, twisted the knob off and turned off the gas completely, which I think that's one of the problems with this, like, gas study is, like, people leaving the house with the gas.
Oh, is that a part of the study? Like people just leaving on their stove?
No, don't leave it on. It just kind of leaks into the air, I believe.
Oh, that's the main issue?
Honestly, I skimmed the article, and I think that was one of the issues.
Fuck. Well, I think, first off, we've got to find someone that actually read the article.
I'm pretty sure I read this like 2 weeks ago when this news dropped, but I guess people are still talking about it. It's the most popular stories today. But
I don't think this is a real problem. I think we're going to figure this one out.
You think that we're going to be able to retrofit current stoves?
No, I think it's going to have to be an all new stove with proper HVAC ejection system operations.
Yeah, I think it's going to be for rich people. You know what I mean? Like, rich people will be able to get it because it's probably going to be like a weird thing at first. It's really expensive.
I could see that.
Hold this phone for a sec. I'm going to dig out a fuel can.
So I just looked in the mirror and remembered I had a mustache. It was kind of alarming.
Do you want to fill in the audience about, like, anything that's going on?
I'm not really at liberty to talk about most of it, but basically it got to the point where now I have a mustache. So obviously there was a shift of sorts.
He's in his villain era. I think you've said that, right? Did you not say that?
I'm leaning into, like, my evil, like, era.
He looks like Wario. So
I guess I have the Wario mustache. I wouldn't say I look like Wario.
You could be a good Wario. I think if they did a live action movie and you were cast, nobody would say that's bad casting.
I guess I gotta check out what Wario looks like. I don't have a good image in my head.
Well, I think Wario's kind of stout like Mario, so you'd have to gain some pounds.
Yeah. I could see that if I gained weight. Over here, Pig. Come
on. So I pulled out a can, like a camping can of fuel. If you've ever been camping, these are what you buy to, like, run.
So
your
what is
freaking little
this?
steps. This is a propane isobutane mix. This is a mix.
Propane butane mix.
Isobutane, whatever that is.
It must be. Maybe that has something to do with the
I
fact
think that's
that,
normal.
Yeah.
That's what most of them are. Yeah, so
Well,
I think,
I guess-
again, I think that these are all fine because there's good ventilation outside. I think if me using this in my car is maybe a problem with the fucking, while burning the fuel. I think that probably is not good for me. Do I open a window when I run it? Usually, yeah. Definitely have, and sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe that's not good. But I boil like one thing and then
But I
it's
feel
done.
like, you're not. Were you making coffee and shit with that?
I would make coffee.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I didn't do heavy cooking inside the van just because I think that's pretty gross.
Yeah, and like I know that you didn't, so that I wouldn't be worried about it. But at least going forward, maybe like at least open a window.
Yeah, I think there's good
Which
enough
I think is
ventilation.
kind of, you need to have ventilation in general. So, okay, so
I guess that's that for that story.
all right, and what else you got?
I actually had nothing else. Like, I got to rack my brain and think about what's happened recently. I told the audience while I was transition. Oh shit! I forgot my hat. I told the audience when I was going from backyard to front yard, it's kind of like ideal weather right now. It's kind of ideal weather right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's a pretty temperate climate right now.
Florida can be a real nightmare a lot of the year with the humidity and the heat. But right now it's honestly very nice.
Well, this is traditionally the kind of the best temperature to be, like the best time to be in Florida, like the weather wise.
Definitely.
Like these very short couple months, whatever they are.
It's definitely like the reverse of the north.
So, all right, well, as far as science goes, we do
You want
want
to do some research? Here, you can go. There you go. I'm gonna rack my brain. You search the computer, and maybe we can just give the audience some time to give the audience a little bit of silence here.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably good for everyone to take a little break, right?
I think so. I mean,
Elon Musk.
we have a. I'll walk out to the yard so they get bird sounds. You got anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we just gotta limit the the rate of CO2 emissions, right?
What are you looking at? Just your global warming shit?
Yeah, I guess that's where I clicked into. I'm not really.
There's no story related to that? What's going on?
The key to decarbonizing future lies in the producing vast amounts of new electricity from sources that emit little to none of the gas. Okay.
This is obvious. What are you reading?
I don't even know. This is just a very broad article. I thought they were gonna give us some information on.
This is like a textbook.
No, it kind of is. I mean, I thought there was a solution.
Well, okay.
I thought they're just looking at numbers.
Oh, well, the only thing I could think of is kind of related to this.
Okay.
Which was the news article, the news thing before. I think it was right before Christmas. Fusion.
Fusion, like Asian fusion?
Exactly.
I mean, I love a good take on
Korean taco.
Yeah, I love a good Korean taco. I love a fun take on like a pad thai.
Now, of course, the audience will know we're just joking. The fusion I'm talking about is nuclear fusion. What a lot of people have described for a long time as free energy.
That sounds radical, man.
Like, did you hear about it?
I heard about.
I want to say it was like mid-December.
No, I guess I didn't.
Some scientists basically, like, the problem with fusion was, it's like hydrogen to helium, right? As far as I understand, it's what the sun does to generate energy. We do that here on Earth. And the problem was
what the fuck do you do? Like, how do you? Is it like a physical?
It's a reaction.
How do you harness it?
I know, that's the whole thing. The idea has been around since like the nuclear bomb, back in the fucking 40s. Like the idea, like, oh, we could, like, if we could harness this energy, it would be good. But so yeah, the problem was like they could do it, but the amount of energy it took to like make the reaction happen was way more than the energy that it got out or that they could capture from it. From what I understand, look, I don't know that much about this, but so now this experiment, apparently they got more energy out of it than they put in, so it's like that's energy that they didn't have before. That's the surplus energy.
Right.
So now it's finally like a practical idea whose time has come.
So basically just research is gonna, like, this is like the new thing that everyone's gonna be researching.
They've been. This idea has been happening.
For how long?
So it's the fucking 40s. I mean, in general, like the idea of nuclear, I think once they did it, from what I understand, like, but I think the idea has been being worked on for a long time because it's like,
I wonder
obviously
what
that would
it's
be
like.
I mean, nuclear power plants are doing this. I think, I don't know what this.
What would it be like to like be one of these scientists like that's like up in this shit like all the time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder.
Hold on, let me see what I think. What's happening now is cold fusion. Hold on a second. Let me look this up really quick.
Cold fusion.
I don't know, because
that
like I'm not
sounds
sure.
a nice
Like
dessert.
I'm like trying to. I think what they said is like this. All the uranium that you would have that you get from nuclear reactors like doesn't happen with this. From what I understand, there isn't the uranium problem where you have a bunch of radioactive material that you don't know what to do with. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Honestly,
I'm not
is
sure.
this is why I should do research before the show,
Yeah, I mean,
so that I can tell.
nobody knows.
This is a good look into like, the normal person's psyche. Like I've been operating in my life as if the things I'm saying are true, whether I know they are or not.
All right, well, let's take a look. Let's surf the old internet here.
Fusion news. Nuclear fusion.
I was thinking a cold fusion sound like a nice sorbet. Something, a little sprinkle of some kind of herb on top. Would be good. So, the thing about science is it's everywhere, you know what I mean? We listen to birds, right? Like, that's science, that's animals, that's biology. So, and I think it comes back down to biology. And what were you going to say?
I was right. It doesn't it is radioactive when it's operating, but it goes away relatively fast, I guess. Fission is what's done in nuclear power plants. I didn't know that. I thought it was actually fusion. But
Fission. I was going to say, you said fusion, and I was actually going to say a fusion, but fission, nuclear fission.
Guess.
Is it nuclear?
I think
Nuclear?
It's one of those things where you can pronounce it however.
Nuclear?
I prefer nuclear.
Fission?
I just pronounce it like it's spelled.
Knuckler.
Nuclear. Because some people go nuclear, but that's like adding a letter in there.
What do you say?
Nuclear.
Nuclear. Am I saying it
I
different?
think nuclear.
Nuclear.
Is a cooler word.
I definitely say nuclear. But the debate isn't about the word.
There's no debate. But what I heard about this, TBH, like I heard this and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Right, just because like we're gonna get this new energy and we're about to like be able to charge our iPhones faster.
But like this is better than wind, this is better than solar, this is better than all that other shit because it's kind of comes out of nowhere. But I mean, maybe we don't know. I mean, maybe it will have a consequence that we do not yet understand the way oil did, you know?
How do we harness fission? Like, I want to open up a string of fission stations, like gas stations.
Fusion.
I thought it was fission.
The new thing is fusion. The old thing was fission.
Oh, okay, I'm lost right now. Okay, fusion's where we're at.
Well,
I want a fusion station. It's just like a gas station.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
do you just fill up your car with fucking fusion?
Probably. I'm guessing there would be just like.
It'd be like more like a Netflix subscription.
I think it would be like we would store the energy in batteries. So I don't know how many fusion.
Physical batteries?
Yeah. I don't know how practical it'll be to like put little fusion reactors in everything. I guess that's in the future you would want that. Like you would want your car to be just self-sustained. Whenever you want to go, it can go by just like turning on the reactor.
Is it dangerous? Is it able to catch fire quickly? Like what are some of the mechanics of the fusion, do you know?
I don't know if it could explode like a nuclear bomb. Or if that's like a weird... I don't know if I'm just fucking making that up.
We need to get a fusion expert on here.
I don't know, but I assume it'll probably be like mostly like battery... Everything runs on batteries and like you just charge your stuff from... Like, yeah, maybe you would have gas stations that would be like... They would have the reactors at those stations and so like they would generate the power locally instead of like sending wires all over the place, you know? I don't know.
The idea of it, you know, I'm in. I'm down. Like, where do I sign up? I want in on the ground floor. I want to be, like, ready for this so I can make as much money as possible.
I think, like, they just did it in a research lab just now. And I heard other chirpers saying that this actually...
Now, for all the science nerds out there, what's a chirper?
Like people in the comments or like critics.
Crickets?
Yeah. I heard some chirpers chirping that they actually used more power than they got out. That wasn't true. Their claim about it generating more power than they put in was just just didn't include some factor that's like for some reason they did. This is my...
Is it clickbait? Is it clickbaited?
I haven't gone into like the exact controversy because I have no idea how fusion works at all. So like, I'm not even sure I could understand it.
But also like scientists are very skeptical. So like people are probably like bullshit.
I don't know. At least they're a little bit closer, I believe.
Or maybe not as like enough research has happened to like really make the claim like that.
I think that's what people are saying. Or they left out something, and this is like not true. I don't know.
They forgot to fucking do the works cited or something, and they're like, this ain't legit.
I'm trying to think of like a metaphor, but I can't.
Well, if we think of one, we'll let you know.
Because like I don't understand the process in general, so I don't know. Like, I haven't looked into the facts. Anyway, I hope it's not true. I hope the haters are just haters, and they actually did do it. Because that would be nice. I mean, solar is awesome. Wind is cool. Wave, those like hydro, whatever they're called, where you like harness the power of like waves.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Pretty legit. I mean, but that's at the same time, like, how big would that have to be? Like, where are you going to have to build a giant thing like on the beach?
In the water.
Much? Right.
In the wave zone.
Oh, in the middle of the ocean?
Like off the coast.
Ooh.
You go to places that have a lot of waves.
And you just drop like a fucking big...
I think a turbine.
Wow, okay. Yeah,
I don't know if they exist somewhere. I've heard the idea. I don't actually know if these... I think they actually have been built places. I'm sorry I'm wrong. Should I look it up, see if they're anywhere?
I guess. I mean, shit. We're just out here chilling on a Sunday. Just trying to get a little vitamin D, a little vitamin Zeet. Like I was saying, science is so broad, right? We could be talking about patterns because patterns are geometry, right? And whenever we break it down to geometry, that's... What's going on?
Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, wait. Sorry. I
No.
don't know. This might be way more research than I have time for. I'm not sure if anybody is actually actively harnessing the power of waves.
Well, nobody can.
The experiments exist.
And nobody can deny that the idea of it is very cool.
Yeah.
Harnessing wave energy.
People are definitely thinking about it, but I don't think it's being done in a big way yet. Anyway, but this fusion thing would kind of make that obsolete. We might just be like, fuck that. We've got...
Who's working on this?
Fusion?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Literally everyone.
Like, this idea is so...
I ran into someone at the local sub shop working on their computer. I said, hey, you might ask me what they were working on. They said, fusion. I said, it's everyone.
Do you want to know? And this is good. This is some hot shit. Like, you remember when we went to Joshua Tree with that dude from France?
Yeah.
Long
was
hair.
he working on fusion?
He was working on fusion.
I think I do remember that now.
Dude, was his name William?
Yes.
He was French. The communication was a little stilted. Like,
It wasn't too bad.
but should we tell the darkest story? Like, I don't know if we should bum people. Should we tell them the darkest story?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Something
We
so
can't.
dark
We can't go
happened that
there.
day.
No, that's not
It
appropriate.
was a sad story involving death of not a person, but a creature. Let me know. I'll just let you know. We could put you in a really bummed out mood right now. If you wanted to.
Okay. Well,
William. Okay, he was a cool dude anyway.
Here, the thing is, he stepped on a field mouse and he killed a field mouse, right?
Yeah,
That was it, and then that was it. Like that's.
but
the
we were
story.
on acid, and that made it so much more fucking like just so sad. Like
It was fucked up.
Like, I looked at this fucking mouse that he accidentally stepped on, and I felt like I was that mouse.
Is it weird, like, that I feel like I'm that mouse right now? In my fucking Wario phase. I feel like I'm just, like, fucking being scorched, and I'm just, like... But I'm blissful about it, you know? It's kind of like, there's this kind of sweet beauty to it.
So, you're saying that you have sympathy. If you were the mouse... You're saying I shouldn't feel so bad about that mouse because he might have been feeling like you right now, like ready to go.
Yeah. It might have been just more torturous to have not been just like put to peace, right?
So that dude was working on fusion. But he was there. He was in the United States at that time to give a presentation somewhere about his his process, and he tried to explain it to me one time, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean there's a certain level of science that it's just beyond comprehension if you don't have like that background. It's so specified, specialized.
Yeah, I think it's like math combined with physics and chemistry and like
it's its own language. So it's like you could tell me and I'm not really gonna get it, but like I understand the words that you're saying.
Yeah,
But
that's like one thing. Like when I think about like different things in science that are like math based, like how bad I am at math. Like I got to like geometry. Like that's about as high as I got. And I would like to be able to do some math to like sort of like get some sort of scientific concepts in a way that like they're like, oh yeah, like intuitive almost.
Right. It's not super difficult. I think it's just memorization.
You know a lot of math. You know a lot of physics.
Me?
Yeah.
More than one might think.
Wow. What math did you get to?
I was in like Calc 3.
Damn. So did you do physics at all?
No, I never took physics. But like we had physics at that level. We did have some physics. And it was really it got to the point where like I barely passed Calc. I barely passed, like, I don't even know. I think there was physics involved, but it was Calc 3. To me, it might as well be physics, but it was so fucking hard, and I was so lost. All I would do was just, like, do random, like, equations on the side, like, and I'm just basically throwing numbers around and just finding answers with just different things that I learned. And, like, underlining shit, and like I would never get the problem right, but I would just leave so much work that my teacher would be like, well, technically all the work's there, but that's the only reason I passed.
You knew sort of how to go through the method, but it was all wrong.
Yeah, usually it was wrong, and like, but my teacher was like, yeah, he's really trying, but so you have to really have a mind for it, and did
you have anybody in your class that was like just having the time of their life, like swimming around in numbers?
I mean, people just, I guess some people that were like more naturally good at it or more interested than me. I mean, to me, it just kind of hit a point where I'm like, why do I give a fuck? Like, this is too much. Like, I don't think this is where, I didn't feel like, okay, this is where my life is leading.
Do you think some people, whenever they're doing math equations, it's like listening to a really good song for them?
Yeah, probably.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's just someone that enjoys like that challenge. I mean, your brain is just wired that just like that, I guess. Probably has a lot to do with, you know, what kind of mustache you have at that point.
So that's all we got for science, I guess.
I mean, mustaches are science, human body, you know, biology, like I said before. Biology is going to be a common theme that we're all figured. This is kind of got like Donald Trump-y a little bit. Sorry about that. It's science. Everything's science.
Oh, I got an idea for another segment.
Like, that's just when I don't know what to say, I just start talking abstractly about science.
Do you have any, I mean, do you not feel like you have any, like, I feel like I'm a person that says I like science, and so maybe I'm looking for science information, but I don't think that's true. I mean,
yeah, I would say that because I'm studying to be a nurse, I am like learning about the body and the science of the body, and like it is interesting. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I'm often like, wow, that's pretty good thing to know, or okay, like, it's interesting because you have a fucking body. So, but I'm not super inclined to just learn about, I don't know. I enjoy science. I haven't been seeking science, I think, because I'm in school. But I enjoy reading about animals.
Yeah.
That's kind of something, like, just I enjoy reading about.
I think I just watched a lot of documentaries.
Different species of animals. Like, that's just interesting. And
I think I just watch a lot of TV about science. And I think I'm just like a pop science fan, you know? Like, I don't know any of the nitty.
My original career path, I feel like whenever I was like probably like 16 or 17, like I wanted to be a marine biologist because I was just like, I love the ocean and I want to study animals in the ocean. And I think so many people had that.
Definitely. I think I want to I mean, I liked whales so much for a while. I did want to be just like a whale trainer though, but that's now That's now like
It's frowned upon.
yeah. I think there are some whale trainers still out there, but
Yeah.
they
I just think like
they aren't the best people.
the idea of working with animals that are not like pets is just interesting to people, and it's like and then even still like that still sounds like a very cool thing to do to me.
Train a whale?
No, just like be around like more like rare animals like on
For
the
sure.
daily. Like that would be kind of exciting.
I'd like to study a wild animal for sure.
So it kind of goes back everything. I mean, it kind of goes just like science. Like it all kind of goes back to Tiger King, right?
Oh, are you trying to bring up the the Carol Baskin's husband just found alive? I mean, I didn't look into any of that news. You want to fill people in?
There's more. There's news on that.
You didn't hear?
No, I hadn't, dude.
Well,
I've
this
been
is like
so
I've seen in
disconnected.
just like the tab with Snaploids.
How recently?
They like last week or something, like they found Carol Baskin's husband in I think South America maybe. I don't remember, but he was found alive, and that's what they say.
No fucking way.
I mean, I literally saw the headline. I haven't looked into any of it. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, that's blowing my mind. I gotta check that out.
No, the other science that's going on in my life right now is light science.
Sure. Yep. Sun.
I think because I'm like, I will listen to a Joe Rogan podcast. I will listen to like alpha male, like alpha male adjacent podcasts. I watched like 2 Andrew Huberman podcasts. He's like a bro science. Like he's a real scientist, but he's like a bro scientist.
What are the 2 that you watched?
I watched one episode on light. It was like 2.5 hours. Well, it was like a
Holy
YouTube
fuck.
video, but he just talks. And I think maybe there were graphs, but I just listened to it.
Okay.
He's an ophthalmologist, which I think that's an IOL science, right?
I believe.
Ophthalmology.
I don't. Yeah, God knows why they chose that name. I can barely say the damn thing.
Anyway, because I've been going to Planet Fitness, and they have this machine called the Total Body Enhancement Machine. And in this machine looks like a tanning bed, vertical tanning bed, with red lights that shine red light spectrum, and then the floor vibrates like almost like those like early 1900s weight loss machines that were like where you put the band around you and then the band vibrated, and they said like the vibrations will just like break up the fat and make you skinny. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've been hitting them up.
But no, do you know the like it was like in Looney Tunes, sometimes they would show like a gym and there would be like the rubber strap connected to the machine, and it would like vibrate their butt.
Not exactly.
You don't remember that?
I can kind of like picture it, but I don't know if I'm just creating that. in my
It was
head.
like always used for wacky effect in TV and movies because they're like it vibrates. The concept is that the vibrations would break up the fat, and then your body would carry it out. But that's almost the same thing that this total body I think they've said that doesn't really work. I think that has been proven wrong. But this total body enhancement machine, the floor vibrates, and it's the same thing where it's saying like, oh, that like vibrates, basically the same thing, vibrates the fat, and then the red light also like breaks down the fat, and then it carries it. It's like a fat loss product. It heals your skin faster, makes you produce more collagen, I believe. A bunch of other things. Has a bunch of claims to do.
I gotta get in this damn thing.
I've told you to go into it.
I know,
It's
I just
funny.
never fucking want to.
So I've been doing it for like a month now, I think. Almost every day. And I don't know. I don't know if it's working, but I like going in it, even though it's really embarrassing when you go to the front desk and you say, "Hi, I'd like to use the total body enhancement machine, please."
And they say, "I'm sorry, what?"
They know what it is. Not that many people use it. I wouldn't say it's really popular. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I think it might be complete bullshit. I think but Andrew Huberman's like, the science is good. It's old science. Like, this has been known about since the 60s. Like, the concept of red light.
Right. I mean, where else do you get red light?
It's in the sunlight, but it's also with the UV light, so it's bad for you too. So this is only one part of the spectrum.
Right. Can I just buy some red lights and just like point them at me?
Yeah. I think they're kind of pricey.
Maybe I'll do that, like, because I don't want to sit in the fucking... I also don't belong to Planet Fitness.
Yeah. The other thing about the machine is it's also called Beauty Angel. Like, actually on the machine.
The brand, like, the actual, like, model is the Angel.
The Beauty Angel. And I think it's called the Beauty Angel machine. I think Planet Fitness called it the Total Body Enhancement because, like, they didn't want to put Beauty Angel on.
But that's what the actual machine is called.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And it has an angel illustration on it. I kind of like that, but it really makes me feel like like some quack medicine, like some not real science. Like this feels bad. Like it doesn't feel legit.
Yeah.
And like
it's like delegitimized. Illegitimized?
I don't know. Delegitimized. I think
it takes away the validity of it because it seems playful.
I don't think so. It just feels like slimy. I don't know. It feels like a product that's like, you know, historically a scam. But anyway, I'm trying it out for myself for a month.
How far along are you in the journey?
I was thinking about a month, and I don't know if at that point you're supposed to like notice anything. People say it also like energizes you. What I do like is it's
taking naps though.
No, it hasn't given me any more energy, but I go in for 12 minutes. That's the most time you can go in for. And there's like fans that blow on you because it gets kind of hot in there. And
yeah, you looked kind of tired when you got out of there.
You sweat a little bit sometimes. It depends on how hot it is.
Right.
That's why you got to get the fans going real hard. But I don't know. I enjoy that it makes me feel like a fucking science experiment. Like, it's funny to step into a chamber, close the doors.
Do you feel like a fucking, like, turkey in the oven, kind of?
Yeah. No, I feel more like I said, I feel like I'm in a laboratory and it's like, this is my treatment. And I'm like a fucking, like in the lab where, like, a superhero experiment goes wrong.
Yeah.
The light bulbs explode, and then I'm like electricity guy.
Punctured with like fucking glass.
And then I have the power to harness electricity or some sort of energy.
Yeah, you become like a fucking like, it's like a superhero, but you're Planet Fitness like branded. Yeah. That's you're fucking. Oh,
his body was totally enhanced. His body got too enhanced.
You have like fucking angel wings. You're the Planet Fitness Beauty Angel. You just give people like, you make people like hotter basically.
I'm like a personal trainer.
I don't know. You have some sort of power where you can like inject into people. Or your personal trainer is kind of better actually.
I think that's what I would be. I would just be a really good personal trainer. So that's one thing I'm doing. I don't know. Look into it, folks. I heard that there's only been small studies with red light therapy, despite it being from the 60s, that the studies on it aren't really large enough to substantiate the claims made by red lights.
And is all this information just being pushed by Big Red?
That's what I'm saying. I think that Big Red has an interest in not having more studies, actually good studies done on it, because I think the murkiness of the claims is benefiting the red light industry. I mean, if it's all true, I'll take it all back. I'm just saying this feels a little fishy.
I mean, you can be skeptical. Nothing wrong with that.
The other thing we're doing is Andrew Huberman in this podcast said the best thing you can fucking do, dude.
Did he say it like that?
No. He said, let me think about how you'd say it. I've become an advocate of this. I think the best thing, just like eating good balanced meal, getting a lot of exercise, the thing I'm proponent for is light. In the morning, the best thing you can do is go outside right when you wake up and stare at the fucking sun. No. Stare in the direction of the sun. Let the sunlight hit your eyes for 10 minutes.
Okay.
2 to 10 minutes, I think. I can't remember. Something we've been doing 10 minutes. And he says this starts your biological clock in the morning. It tells your body like to start producing your like wake up hormones. And then that's like a domino effect supposed to like give you the correctly timed hormones, I guess, because you're like a fucking plant, so that your day goes well and you go to bed on time and you have a good night's sleep. It's like a weird...
It's like, but I'm almost like, okay, but are there things that you're doing that are just gonna like reverse that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, sure. Like if I don't get a good night's sleep the night before, I'm still going to be tired that day.
I guess it's just it's a supplement.
There's many factors.
I guess you could call it a supplement.
It's like a supplement, I would say.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with going outside in the morning. I think that probably is some kind of stimulation for your brain.
It feels good. I've been really enjoying it. Make a cup of coffee, go outside, look at the sun.
Make a cup of coffee for your head. Yeah, I did it this morning. It was nice. It's definitely, unfortunately, it's not something I can do every day because I get up fucking early and, like, I guess if I'm driving in the sun, I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, it counts, I think.
Right.
Well, he said, like, the windshield blocks some shit that's important.
Right.
You got to get that raw. I think he said glasses are right.
But it's sun, too, right?
It's got to be sun. I think a light bulb would work if you got one of those bulbs that like shoots out the happy waves.
Right. Oh, okay. You know, I think it's worth a shot.
I've been doing it for about a week now, I'd say. And same as the red light, not really noticing anything other than I like it. I think it's a kind of a relaxing thing to do.
It's a nice process. It's a nice habit to form, you know.
I think it's something you would look forward to in the morning.
Yeah.
I have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. Like,
I think it's also the weather's been really nice here, so like I could see if you're living in a place where it's 30 degrees outside, I don't know if you're going to want to go outside with a cup of coffee and look at the sun for 10 minutes.
yeah. Like, get a cup of coffee for your head.
Do you think the audience is familiar with that?
Yeah, they're not too bad. Yeah, I think give it a shot if you want to give it a shot, but, you know, I think the big bong's about fucking ready to get torched. I feel like, you know, this has been a really awesome first episode.
So we will, maybe in the next episode, we will talk about the result, like how it's going. If we're still looking at the sun every day, red light therapy, you're gonna try it?
I'll try it, but I don't know how consistent I can be with it because I don't go to Planet Fitness. That's the problem.
You have to get a membership. It's $20 a month.
I'm fucking broke. Like, I can't even afford a Planet Fitness membership right now.
Have you ever heard this full track? I haven't heard the lyrics other than the sample.
I think this dude just like, I don't know if they collabed or this dude just rapped on it and then they're like, oh, this is really good. But I think the original is just like the loop of just her.
You know, it is good. I think. I mean, when TikToks have the song on it, I'm not mad.
I mean, that's social science, right?
What?
TikTok.
Oh, are you saying this is science still? Yeah.
I'm just saying everything's science.
That's true. It really is. All right. Sorry,
Well,
I was gonna wrap up on that song. Should I keep playing the song?
Yeah.
Or should I go back to the Big Bang Theory theme song?
Back to the bang.
One thing I wanted to admit, actually, that I have watched a lot of episodes of The Big Bang Theory, and I kind of is like a bit of a comfort food for me because it's so fucking corny and like the jokes are, you can predict the rhythm of everything. There's a laugh track. I think it just, I think there's something. It's embarrassing, and I'm just admitting it here just to admit it, to put it out there. I watched a lot of The Big Bang Theory. I would download the torrents when I was in my torrent phase for like 10 years. I would see like the top shows. I would see what people are watching just based on like how many people are downloading it.
Right.
And Big Bang was always up there, and I was like, let's fucking try this. So I opened a couple apps. I downloaded a couple apps, and I was like, you know what? Sheldon's funny. I'll admit it right here.
The thing about Big Bang Theory, I think for a lot of people, it's almost like the equivalent of like, make a cup of coffee for you.
You're just trying to get back to that?
Nah, I'm just fucking around. I've seen one episode. We watched a long clip of an episode in class the other day, actually, which I was like, okay, like, I guess as far as like being in class goes, watching Big Bang Theory is pretty good.
I'd say so. All right, that's the first episode of the Big Bang Theory. Let us know if you liked it in the comments section. There's no comment section. I wish podcasts had comment sections. After a good pod, I want to see what the other people who just heard what I heard had to say.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think soon enough it will be kind of like standardized. Maybe not.
The thing about it is I think I would maybe get self-conscious if I read the comments. And so it's maybe a good thing that this doesn't have comments.
Like everything else in this life, it's a double-edged sword.
On Spotify, you can leave a comment on this pod. But just that app.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's like, do you get Spotify or do you get Apple Music? It's like, how are you supposed to know which one's better, right?
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall, we built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery, it all started with a big
Bong.